What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Hello.
Today's topic: why did he choose to get 1000cc bike over 600 to ride on track?
Why did I? Everybody else told me that I should get a 600. Like everybody.
All the professionals, track riders, everyone you know.
Yeah, basically, yeah. The guys at the Yamaha store. Simon suggested it. Everybody basically. But then I explained to Simon why I wanted a 1000, and he immediately understood why.
But he still disagreed.
No. He said it's good. He told me I can get it 1000. It's not a problem. After we discussed it.
So what were the main reasons why they request you to get 600 first?
Well, the idea is that when you don't have that much power, it's a lot easier to learn to ride fast because you're not scared of the bike all the time. I'm still scared of the R1. But yeah, I think that's the only thing, because the weight difference is so small, especially when you change the exhaust and stuff like that. It's going to be such a minimal difference that it's not going to make that big of a change in your riding. So you can ride 1000 like a 600. You can carry speed in and do all the same stuff. With an R1 and R6, it's not that much different, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's what I thought when I looked at the numbers that the bikes have. But yeah, I think the biggest reason is that you won't be so scared to open it up on the straight and just bomb it down the straight and stuff like that. Plus, with older bikes, there used to be a huge risk of high siding a 1000. I think you can easily high side a 600 too, but
you mean before the electronics aids all that?
Yeah. And the electronics are basically one of the reasons why I decided to go with a 1000 instead of a 600, because it has all those electronic aids which help you in preventing high sides, and you have ABS. Well, now we don't anymore, but yeah, that kind of stuff helps you on the track because you can lean on it, and it can save you in many situations where you might make a mistake. And 600s don't have that. They have pretty rudimentary, basic level traction control. They don't have slide control like the R1 does and stuff like that. So I think new 600s might be more dangerous to ride than a 1000 if you crank up all the electronics and stuff. You can't say that they're uncrashable. You can always wash out the front and stuff, but it's with a new 1000, it's pretty hard to crash. You have to do major mistakes in your riding to end up on the gravel.
Yeah, and when you improve, you can reduce the aids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Step by step and
exactly
turn them off, right?
Yeah.
Can you turn everything off in the R1?
Yes, everything else but the ABS. But that's gone now.
That will be off.
Yeah. That's gonna
Well, that includes some manual labor and some parts.
Yeah, and the only reason why we did it so soon was that we changed the subframe and we had to take it off anyways of the bike. And reinstalling the ABS is not as simple as you might think. You have to really take the air out of the pump and stuff like that. So it's a longer process, and maybe it should be done by a service station, like a Yamaha service. But
so it was a good moment.
Yeah, it was basically
do it at the same time.
Yeah, and just all right, be done with it and embrace the non-ABS life. But yeah, I think that's the biggest reason why the 600s are usually suggested. But I think it has to be changing, because you can tone down the 1000 so much nowadays, and it will be a lot more bike to grow into in the future without changing. And especially in Finland, because we have the car tax problem.
Definitely, everyone here knows that.
Yeah. So you're gonna throw a lot of money away if you get first a 600, ride it for a year or two, and then you get a 1000. And then you could like argue, should you get a new bike or not, like a used bike? But for me, the reason to go new was that I wanted to ride. I want a bike that I can just take to the track and ride it and enjoy it without having to tinker with it all the time and fixing it and you know, have problems arise.
Yeah, as we saw during the track days last time,
Yeah.
like many of the guys who had older bikes, they were tinkering and like, oh, this is, you know, I need to do something with my brakes and all of this, you know,
all
so
the time.
always something after a couple of laps and
Yeah, and I could just like keep
Yeah,
going.
go.
Yeah, and that's the biggest reason. Because one of the most important things that Simon told me, and many other guys also, like for example Kalle at Yamaha Center, you have to get miles or kilometers on the bike. You have to just go on the track and you have to ride it, and that's the most important thing to do to improve.
Was there a big difference in terms, like money-wise, compared to 600 to 1000?
It's not that big of a difference if you think about it. In Finland, a 600 will cost you about 19,000, which, if you're watching this anywhere else, sounds insane, I know. But the R1 is like, I think it's like 24 or 25. So there's not a huge difference compared to what you get when you take that into consideration for the money. You get for 19,000 you get quite a little bit of bike compared to the 25 with the R1. So
that's true.
It's a huge difference in my opinion.
It's not that big of a gap then. And I guess, like, because you used to ride a lot on the street, and you already had what I consider, at least on the street, as a fast bike, the XSR 900. You got used to the power on that. Like,
that's true.
from that going back to 600 would feel maybe a little bit meh, you know?
Yeah, and when I took the R6 for a test ride out and I rode it, basically the R6 is as fast as the XSR, but because it has fairings, it goes a lot like that's where the difference comes. Like the XSR is super fast until you hit like 100 or 120, you know, and then the R6 is faster after that because you have the fairings and you can get tucked in behind it. But they're basically a different type of engine and different behavior, but as fast, equally fast, I would say. Like if you put them next to each other and you do a drag race over like 400, 500 meters, I think they would finish at the same time.
Right.
Probably. Maybe the R6 might be a little faster, just a little, because of the fairings. And don't get me wrong, the R6 is a nice bike and it revs super high and it sounds great and it's a very good bike. But compared to the money that you have to pay in Finland, I didn't see the point, because I would grow probably out of it in a year or two, and I would have lost a lot of money compared to the money that I paid extra to get the R1, which will last me a lot longer, in my opinion. But yeah, that's a big deal. And the fact that the bike scares me on the straights, you know, and stuff, it gives, because you know I have a bit of a hole in my head with driving and stuff.
I agree.
The R1 is so scary that I respect it in a way that I wouldn't respect the 600. I don't know if you like get what I mean with that, but
I understand. Like if you talk about street bikes, I got the same feeling. I started to get like with my Monster 696.
Yeah.
You know, that was a bike. It was a good first bike in terms of it was pretty fast.
Yeah.
But there was no aids, not even ABS, so I didn't have to be that scared because it doesn't wheelie with only throttle. You have to flip the clutch. So when I jumped from that and tried your bike, you know, I respect the power. I couldn't even go to the rev limit, but you know,
true.
it's like
maybe
it's a torque, but it's, you know.
But you get used to it. You get used to a 1000 also. But I think a 1000 is going to be so fast that you will never be sitting on it and feeling like it's not going anywhere, you know? It's that fast that you will get accustomed to the speed of it and the acceleration and everything, but the G-forces will always keep you kinda on the edge because you're always like holding on to it anyways, just like physics, like you know, you can't help it on the straights and stuff. Those are the biggest things, in my opinion, or the reasons like why I went with the 1000 instead of the 600.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially like nowadays. Like maybe, I don't know at what point the electronic age started to...
I think it was when the R1 came out, like 2015. I think because it had the slide control and stuff. Like bikes before that, I think the Aprilia had pretty good like traction control and stuff, but nowhere near the level of the slide control on the R1, which you can just like open the throttle up and just like bam, get out the corner with a black line and be like a legend.
Yeah, they've improved a lot. So like, if you would consider buying a used bike, let's say before that, if someone is looking like, okay, I want to start
like
going
R6 or CBR,
would you still recommend going with 1000? Like, let's say you were at that choice in your head.
I don't know. There's like, I have a couple of friends who go to the track and they used to have 600s and they were a lot faster than me on the 1000. Like you can have a lot of fun on the 600, especially on like certain tracks in Finland. They are like the 1000 and 600 times are really close together. Like it doesn't matter how much you have power. It's all about the lines and the corners and the corner speeds and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say like if somebody, it depends so much on what's your background. If you have a bit of a hole in your head like I do, then I don't know. I really can't say because I've never ridden a 1000 without electronics. So I can't really say. Maybe you would be smarter to go with a 600.
You would respect the power even more, maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. With the R1, you can try your limits because you know there's a safety net there. You know, you can try to open the throttle a little bit earlier, or you know stuff like that, or a little bit harder, or whatever. And usually, like it catches you, and it's like safe.
Yeah, and in that sense, if we talk about riding in track, with all the aids, like you can especially, I would assume it's safer with the 1000 with all the aids than a 600 if the conditions are wet.
Yeah.
And it's raining.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially if you have still the ABS on. I heard like there's some guy in Finland who was racing and he had the ABS on and he was just like kept winning all the wet races because he could just outbrake everybody. But well, that's gone for us now, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, maybe if you are on a budget and you are not able to get a new bike with all the electronics, like you don't have to go, like you can get a proper R1 like 2015, 2016. I think they're probably, I don't know, like 10,000, like in the UK and in mainland Europe. It's different for us because let's not get into that. But like on the other, you might get for 8,000-9,000 or something like that. That, you know, I would pay that over. Well, it's also a problem because I don't know the prices. Like how much does an R6 cost in the UK or Spain? You know, because they cost like 6,000 in Finland.
Country dependent a lot.
Yeah. But if there's if you've been riding for a long time, or you feel like you could handle a more powerful bike, and well, actually, one of the reasons that I have a hole in my, like, I'm a bit of a crazy driver or rider, whatever, but I've always had, I've also always like been smart about it. Also, like, you don't go to the track or the places with the R1 and just wang it open and hope for the best, you know? Like, I always think about it, what I'm gonna do, and I respect the bike, but also I'm smart about the way I use it, and I try to use it in the correct way as much as possible as I can for my skill level. Like,
yeah,
I don't just like try to go as fast as I can on the straights and then dibble dabble in the corners and stuff like that, but if you have a brain on your head, even though if it has a little hole in it, you can go with the 1000, especially if it's a newer one. Like, for comparison, if you have like an R6 for 6,000, 5,000, and then you have an R1 2015 onwards for like, I don't know, 8,000, 9,000, I would go with the R1 if I, like, for me.
And I guess also in terms of like upgrading the bike, you have more upgrade path with 1000.
Yeah.
Compared to the 600. I would guess, like, in terms of suspension, engine, is that solid, or like,
no?
Or is it about the same?
It's about the same. Like, you can get all the same, like, Erlin stuff and Brembo stuff and you know, everything. You can get everything on the 600 as well. It's only the power of the engine, and you can't adjust the electronics. And I don't know if you have like engine brake control stuff on the R6 or not. I think you might have. If you like flash the ECU, then you might get it. But yeah, everything else is basically, it's just the engine.
Right.
That's
so also the data logging.
Oh no, actually, yeah, that you don't.
You cannot get it.
No, on the R6, no.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
I don't think so. I might be talking out of my, well, but I think you don't have the data logging on the R6, which is really nice on the R1, because you don't have you have the 6-axis IMU in the R1, which like sees everything and counts it, but you don't have it in the
so
R6.
That has to,
so
or at least has to be more simplified.
Yeah, data logging stuff.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
So when are we gonna get you a 600 to start with?
Let me check my wallet. Let's see. So I think that covered it pretty well.
Pretty well.
Your choice.
Yeah.
And of course, like, country dependent, background dependent.
Yeah, absolutely.
How good of driver you think you are, and how good you really are.
Yeah. Both of those.
Yeah.
Have effect. Yeah.
But it's funny, like when we started talking, you said everyone recommended 600, and you know he's a little bit rebel sometimes, so yeah, of course he wanted to go straight to 1000, but it's funny that like many professional track riders started recommending 600.
Yeah. But then again, like when I was riding with Simon for the first time, he told me...
And you were riding with 1000.
Yeah. It was the first time on track. We should do a video about that. I should like say why I did it and what's the whole reason behind that. But yeah, when I was with Simon, he was telling me like, yeah, you don't have a problem in the straights. Like you can just like pin it. Like you're not scared. And I was like, yeah, it's just the fucking corners. I can't swear. Beep.
Yeah.
It's it's just the corners, you know. But yeah, so I don't know. I like the 1000, especially because you have something to grow into. Like you have so much to learn.
Yeah.
The one thing that you have to take into consideration is that the lines that you take on track are quite different with a 1000 than a 600. Like you have basically the same principles, but the way that you have to carry speed, well, you don't have to carry speed, but you should carry speed with a 600 is a bit different to the 1000, because you're just like going into the corner, and usually you have a late apex, so you can pick it up and just get out of the corner quite fast. It's a bit different, and I'm learning all the time. So, like for example, when we're talking with Kalle about the lines in Alastara, I was like, okay, well, oh well.
But at least now you have to learn the lines only one time, basically, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's not that different, but there's some differences. Like, you have to be able to understand the machine that you have under you, so you can like utilize it in the best way. And with the 1000, you have to use the power to be able to use the most out of the bike you have. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Anything else?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, that was a good conversation.
Let us know if there's anything you would like to.
Yeah, and what do you think?
Yeah, what do you guys think? What kind of bike did you choose to ride on track, and why?
This is 600, 1000.
750?
Yeah, that's true.
GSXR?
Yeah, that's a good one. People recommend that a lot as a used bike. The 750 GSXR is like the best
of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? There's the Daytona. People say that that's a really good track bike. The Triumph Daytona.
Right. And if 1000 isn't enough for you, you can these days go even higher, a little bit.
Oh yeah, with the Ducati and the Aprilia. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like they go over the superbike bore. Like, I don't like it. I don't.
Everyone loves more power.
Yeah, but you should get the V4R. That's an insane bike.
They're both insane.
Yeah, they are.
Anyways, guys, let's see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.